Just when people thought the Remy Ma and Papoose situation had finally reached its limit, the internet was once again reminded that celebrity mess rarely ends quietly. Every time it seems like the dust might settle, another moment pops up that makes everyone stop, rewind, and say, "Now wait a minute." And this time, the moment that reignited everything came wrapped in Christmas paper, handed out at the worst possible time, and delivered straight into the court of public opinion. What should have been a calm holiday season turned into a viral debate about respect, boundaries, and emotional intelligence. The situation? Papoose gifting boxer Claressa Shields a Christmas present just 4 days after reports circulated that his wife, Remy Ma, spent the holiday alone. That single act, small on the surface, opened the floodgates to conversations that went far beyond a gift. Because in situations like this, timing is everything, and perception is reality. To understand why the internet reacted the way it did, you have to look at the backdrop. Remy Ma and Papoose have long been seen as one of hip-hop's more solid couples. Their relationship survived prison time, industry pressure, and years of public scrutiny. For a long time, they were held up as an example of loyalty, patience, and commitment in a space where those things are often in short supply. So when rumors started circulating that their marriage was on shaky ground, people paid attention. When it was reported that Remy spent Christmas alone, a holiday centered on family, unity, and togetherness, it immediately shifted the narrative. Even without official statements, the silence spoke loudly. People began reading between the lines, sensing that something deeper was happening behind closed doors. Then came the gift. Just 4 days after Christmas, images and conversations surfaced showing Papoose gifting Claressa Shields a Christmas present. Now, on paper, giving someone a gift doesn't sound scandalous, but context changes everything. The timing alone made people raise eyebrows, especially given the swirling rumors about his marriage and Remy's reportedly quiet holiday. Social media. Just when people thought the Remy Ma and Papoose situation had finally reached its limit, the internet was once again reminded that celebrity mess rarely ends quietly. Every time it seems like the dust might settle, another moment pops up that makes everyone stop, rewind, and say, "Now wait a minute." And this time, the moment that reignited everything came wrapped in Christmas paper, handed out at the worst possible time, and delivered straight into the court of public opinion. What should have been a calm holiday season turned into a viral debate about respect, boundaries, and emotional intelligence. The situation? Papoose gifting boxer Claressa Shields a Christmas present just 4 days after reports circulated that his wife, Remy Ma, spent the holiday alone. That single act, small on the surface, opened the floodgates to conversations that went far beyond a gift. Because in situations like this, timing is everything, and perception is reality. To understand why the internet reacted the way it did, you have to look at the backdrop. Remy Ma and Papoose have long been seen as one of hip-hop's more solid couples. Their relationship survived prison time, industry pressure, and years of public scrutiny. For a long time, they were held up as an example of loyalty, patience, and commitment in a space where those things are often in short supply. So when rumors started circulating that their marriage was on shaky ground, people paid attention. When it was reported that Remy spent Christmas alone, a holiday centered on family, unity, and togetherness, it immediately shifted the narrative. Even without official statements, the silence spoke loudly. People began reading between the lines, sensing that something deeper was happening behind closed doors. Then came the gift. Just 4 days after Christmas, images and conversations surfaced showing Papoose gifting Claressa Shields a Christmas present. Now, on paper, giving someone a gift doesn't sound scandalous, but context changes everything. The timing alone made people raise eyebrows, especially given the swirling rumors about his marriage and Remy's reportedly quiet holiday. Social media wasted no time reacting. The move was instantly labeled tone-deaf, messy, and emotionally careless. Many felt it was salt in an already open wound. The idea that a man would publicly play Santa for another woman while his wife was allegedly spending the holidays alone didn't sit right with a lot of people. And once the internet senses disrespect, it doesn't hesitate. The criticism aimed at Papoose was swift and brutal. People accused him of lacking awareness and empathy, calling the gesture reckless and unnecessary. Comments flooded timelines, saying things like, "That's not generosity, that's audacity wrapped in tinsel." Others questioned how someone could be so publicly affectionate toward another woman during a time when his marriage appeared to be in crisis. Many pointed out that even if nothing inappropriate was going on, the optics were terrible. In celebrity culture, perception often matters more than intention. People argued that a married man, especially one under scrutiny, should move with extra caution, not bold gestures that invite speculation. Some went even further, calling the gift emotionally disrespectful, saying it sent a message that Remy was no longer being considered or prioritized. Whether that was Papoose's intention or not didn't matter to the public. In their eyes, the damage was already done. What made this situation even more powerful was Remy Ma's reaction, or rather her lack of one. Instead of ranting online, dragging names, or seeking sympathy, Remy responded with a short, pointed remark. "You can't do that." That was it. No paragraphs, no explanations, no emotional breakdown. And somehow, that made it hit harder. To many supporters, her response showed restraint, maturity, and exhaustion. It felt like the words of someone who had already processed the situation privately and didn't feel the need to over-explain herself to the public. Others felt her reaction revealed just how fed up she was with what they saw as repeated public missteps. The simplicity of her response allowed people to project their own interpretations onto it, and that's why it went viral. Once Remy spoke, the conversation shifted. People began dissecting her tone, her choice of words, and what wasn't said. Supporters rallied behind her, praising her for not embarrassing herself or her family online. They framed her response as a quiet but powerful boundary being drawn. Critics, however, argued that her comment exposed deeper cracks in the relationship. Some said it sounded less like shock and more like resignation, as if she had seen this kind of behavior before. One viral comment summed it up harshly, saying, "That man never misses an opportunity to look goofy in public." That line spread like wildfire because it captured what many were feeling: frustration, disbelief, and secondhand embarrassment. Of course, Claressa Shields didn't escape scrutiny either. As the recipient of the gift, she became a central figure in the drama, whether she wanted to or not. Some people accused her of enjoying the attention, suggesting that accepting the gift, especially publicly, showed a lack of consideration for Remy's feelings. Others labeled the situation pick-me behavior on a holiday schedule, questioning why anyone would knowingly step into such a messy scenario. Critics argued that even if Claressa didn't owe Remy loyalty, basic decency should have made her pause. However, not everyone agreed with that take. A significant portion of the internet defended Claressa, pointing out that she is a grown woman who doesn't owe Remy Ma explanations or restraint. They argued that the responsibility lies solely with Papoose, not the woman receiving a gift. From this perspective, blaming Claressa was seen as misplaced anger. Even so, many of her defenders admitted one thing: the optics were bad. While she may not have done anything technically wrong, the situation still looked messy, and public perception doesn't care about nuance. In celebrity drama, looking wrong can be just as damaging as being wrong. As the debate continued, one theme kept resurfacing: boundaries. This wasn't really about Christmas gifts or social media reactions. It was about respect, timing, and emotional intelligence. People felt boundaries were crossed, not necessarily through betrayal, but through carelessness. However, what originally appeared to be a quiet separation between two longtime partners has now transformed into something far more complex, far more public, and far more damaging. This no longer feels like a story about heartbreak or two people growing apart. it has evolved into a messy collision of pride, jealousy, money, power, and control, with three strong personalities caught in the middle of it all. The emotional weight of this situation has spilled out into the public eye, affecting not only personal relationships, but careers, reputations, and future plans. And at this stage, it's hard to ignore the reality that this isn't just unresolved business, it's unresolved conflict. From the outside looking in, it appears that Papoose has already made his decision. According to people close to him, he has asked Remy Ma for a divorce multiple times. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. Each time, he reportedly believed that the process was finally moving forward, that they were getting closer to officially closing the chapter on a marriage that emotionally had already ended. And yet, every single time, the paperwork never gets signed. There is always a delay, always another explanation, always a reason why it can't happen right now. Meanwhile, life continues moving forward for everyone else involved, except him. That pattern alone has raised serious questions, because when one person is clearly asking to be released from a marriage and the other refuses to let go, it stops looking like love and starts looking like control. While this stalemate continues, Claressa Shields has stepped into the picture in a way that is impossible to ignore. She has not been subtle, quiet, or secretive about her feelings. In fact, she has done the exact opposite. Claressa has been open, proud, and emotionally expressive about how much Papoose means to her. The way she speaks about him, the way she shows up for him, and the way she publicly celebrates him all suggest that she already views him as her partner in every sense except the legal one. But that legal technicality carries enormous weight, because no matter how real their relationship feels, Papoose is still married to another woman. That reality places Claressa in an extremely painful position, stuck waiting on the ending of a marriage she never helped create. One moment that truly captured the emotional complexity of Claressa's position was her public birthday message to Papoose. This wasn't a casual post or a few polite words. It was heartfelt, detailed, and deeply personal. She wished him long life, strength, joy, and peace. She joked about birthday punches, tying in her boxing background, and referred to him as her king. She thanked him openly for the love, laughter, and support he brings into her life. It was the kind of message people usually reserve for long-term partners or spouses. And while it was sweet on the surface, many people couldn't help but feel the underlying sadness beneath it, because for all that love, there was still no ring, no engagement, and no clear next step. According to those close to the situation, the reason for that delay was painfully simple. Remy still had not signed the divorce papers. Papoose, for his part, has reportedly been honest with people around him about how frustrating this situation has become. He has said that he has done what he can. He asked for the divorce, he waited, he tried to handle things responsibly and without unnecessary drama. But no matter how ready he is to move on, he cannot fully close one chapter of his life because Remy refuses to let him free. And that refusal doesn't exist in a vacuum. It affects Claressa emotionally, it stalls Papoose's future plans, and it continues to fuel public speculation. The longer this drags on, the more it begins to look like a power struggle rather than a marriage issue. Things escalated dramatically when Remy Ma chose to leak private text messages between Papoose and Claressa. Once those messages were made public, the internet exploded. In those conversations, Claressa appeared emotional and upset because Papoose didn't let her know when he got home safely. She acknowledged that he was still married, but she also made it clear that she expected basic communication, honesty, and reassurance. She expressed that if he couldn't be physically present with her or even stay on the phone, the least he could do was let her know he was safe. That moment shifted public perception in a major way. For many people, Claressa stopped being viewed as just the other woman and instead became someone visibly invested in a relationship that was already complicated before she ever stepped into it. Remy did not stop with the text messages. She went on to claim that she had recordings of Papoose behaving aggressively and even threatening to call the police on her. Those accusations were serious and immediately changed the tone of the conversation. However, Papoose responded quickly and denied those claims. He acknowledged that Remy was angry, but he said her anger stemmed from the fact that he had moved on. Then he revealed something that completely shifted the narrative. According to Papoose, Remy cheated first. That statement sent shockwaves through the discussion, especially when people remembered Remy's very public admiration for another man during a rap battle in late 2023. At the time, her support of Easy the Block Captain raised questions that were largely brushed aside, but in light of everything happening now, those moments are being revisited with a much more critical eye. This led many people to ask a difficult but reasonable question. If Remy has already moved on emotionally and possibly romantically, why is she refusing to let go of the marriage? Why block the divorce if there is no intention of reconciliation? That question became even louder after Papoose and Claressa were seen together on a lavish Valentine's Day trip to Hawaii. They weren't hiding, they weren't sneaking around, they looked relaxed, happy, and deeply connected. For many observers, it didn't look like a rebound or a temporary situation, it looked like a real relationship. While in Hawaii, Papoose wasn't just enjoying a vacation, he was working. He launched the first ever Hawaii Fest, proudly sharing updates, celebrating broken records, and thanking the celebrities who attended. He appeared focused on building something new for himself, both personally and professionally. At the same time, Claressa shared a heartfelt video of the two of them together on the beach. It wasn't flashy or performative. It felt genuine, like a moment shared between two people who were truly in love and unafraid to show it. According to rumors, that Hawaii trip was supposed to mark a major turning point. It said that Papoose spent months planning to propose to Claressa on Valentine's Day. The setting was perfect, the timing was symbolic, everything was aligned, except for one critical detail. He was still legally married. Because Remy had not signed the divorce papers, Papoose could not move forward with the proposal. That moment, which could have been life-changing, was delayed or possibly destroyed because of unfinished business from a relationship that had already ended emotionally. This is where public opinion began to shift even more sharply. By this point, Remy herself was rumored to be involved with someone else, yet she continued to block the divorce. Many people began speculating about her true motives. Some believe jealousy plays a role, others think fear of change is the real issue. But the most common theory people keep returning to is money. When you examine the financial side of this situation, it becomes impossible to ignore. Remy Ma's estimated net worth is significantly higher than Papoose's. She is worth several $1 million, while his financial standing is far more modest. In long-term marriages, especially those lasting over a decade, the lower-earning spouse is often entitled to spousal support. Papoose and Remy were married in 2008 and separated in 2023, giving them over 11 years of marriage. That alone strengthens his case. But when you factor in what he contributed to Remy's life and career, the argument becomes even stronger. When Remy was incarcerated, Papoose stayed. He didn't walk away, he didn't hide, he didn't publicly embarrass her. He protected her image, promoted her music, raised her son, and kept her brand alive while she couldn't be present. He played a critical role in maintaining her relevance. When she returned home, they turned their relationship into a television storyline, generating even more income. They weren't just a couple, they were a brand, and Papoose was not a side character in that brand, he was central to it. Because of all this, many believe that Remy's refusal to sign the divorce papers has less to do with love and more to do with financial consequences, alimony, asset division, the reality of what she might have to give up.
Meanwhile, Claressa remains stuck in emotional limbo, fully committed but unable to move forward. She cannot plan a wedding, she cannot fully step into the future she wants. She is waiting on someone else to let go.
In moments where relationships are fragile, public actions carry extra weight. The internet agreed that this wasn't an innocent misunderstanding, it was a failure to read the room. Ego and entitlement appeared to take priority over consideration and discretion. When you move without thinking about how your actions affect others, especially those closest to you, consequences are inevitable. What made Remy Ma's response resonate so deeply was that it didn't beg for sympathy. She didn't position herself as a victim. Instead, she let the situation speak for itself. In doing so, she allowed the public to draw their own conclusions, and they did. Her silence was loud, her restraint was noticeable, and in a culture where oversharing is the norm, her decision to keep it short stood out. It suggested confidence, self-awareness, and perhaps acceptance of things she could no longer control. In the end, this situation serves as a reminder that not every mistake is loud, and not every boundary violation comes with fireworks. Sometimes it's the small, poorly timed gestures that reveal the most. When a man starts handing out gifts like confusion, people are going to call it exactly what it looks like. This wasn't about holiday cheer. It wasn't about generosity. It was about people moving recklessly and being shocked when the internet noticed. Messy behavior doesn't always involve scandals or secrets. Sometimes it's just a lack of awareness and the refusal to sit down, stay in your lane, and think before you act.